It's Friday, motherfuckers. You know what time it is? Lowlife podcast time. It's your boy Ryno back with another insane episode of the Lowlife podcast. It's actually probably not going to be that insane. It's just me. Danny is not behind my chair. I'm doing this one solo. Been having a rough week. So this one I had to move some stuff around, some interviews and shit like that, and I got to get it done by Friday, so here I am. Yeah, dude, in the last week, I'm not going to bitch too much, but boiler fucking shit the bed, flooded my basement, and I have to install a new one. So I have to work out a fuck ton of money I don't have, and I'm going to try to do it myself, but I ain't no fucking HVAC tech. So if you are, and you live near New Hampshire, where I'm at, hit me up. You can help me install it. I bet I can do it. It doesn't seem that tough, but who knows? Yeah, got a bunch of shit going on. Work is off the fucking chain. I'm absolutely drowning here. So I'm just trying to keep my head above water and trying to get my motherfucking Softail chop done. I've been grinding away at that every fucking extra second I get. There's so much fucking work putting these bikes together. And just when you think like I whiteboarded it and I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to do that. I'm going to have to do that. And then as you start taking shit apart, you realize that some of the things that you wanted to do aren't going to work. Some of the material costs that you factored in, well, you fucked up too many times and you have to buy more material. And then you find stuff that's broken. I just, what is it? My ignition, sensor or cam sensor or whatever. Open up that little motherfucker and it's melted. Oh, I was looking and I was like, what the fuck is this like beige goo coming out of the bottom here? So I said, let's do a little research. And I popped that cover off and the thing was just fucking melted in there. Bike was still running fine, and apparently it's a common issue. I had a lot of people, I posted a picture on Instagram, and a lot of people hit me up, and they're like, yep, same thing happened to me. I believe they discontinued that part, and I got the replacement piece or whatever. So no problem, just, money not expecting to spend. But when it's all said and done, it should run better, right? So yeah, today I did I'm doing a fluid change. I just drained all that shit out. I got to do the clutch cable. I tried so fucking hard to make my own cables, but nothing seems to work right. I had I made a bird caging tool. So I got some new levers and I have the new style clutch cables on that, which are the hoop. And I need like a little ball to fit into my levers. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just fucking cut it and solder it, did a little research, got a little solder pot and what's called a bird caging tool. You can buy one for $200 or you can make one like I did out of some angle iron and a couple of drill bits. But yeah, I couldn't get that to fucking work right. The solder, it sticks everywhere, So like when I finally got it together, it was like the fucking pieces the bird caging tool were just like stuck together. Tried a whole bunch of, tried it in wood, tried it a million different ways. So I was on YouTube just trying every different way and just couldn't get it to work right. So I'm going to, I believe there's a way to convert those to a ring type with a dowel. So I just ordered a new fucking clutch cable and I'm just going to try to do that conversion somehow. But man, I've been grinding literally and welding my fucking ass off. I ran out of argon. I was welding up a battery box and like fucking ready to just bang it out, get it done. Running out of argon. Went and had to drop some Mo money on that argon tank. Shout out Air Gas. That's when you live in the sticks, it's a fucking pain in the ass to get argon. It's a fucking hour and a half round trip. So I had to go at like 7 in the morning before work. But yeah, I got that. Got the gas. I think I'm almost done welding. There's a bunch of like fucking holes in the frame where uh stock shit and clips and stuff used to go in. So I got all that welded up. All the fabs done, I think. I did all the custom pieces and tabs and shit like that. So I think I'm almost ready for paint. I've been doing, as I'm waiting for things to cool that I just welded, I've been fucking with Bondo on the tank and fender. Got some louvers on the tank and on the fender, stainless steel. They look pretty cool. But I had to Bondo them in, and that's a fucking mess. Bondo's a goddamn mess. But it's coming along. It's coming along, and I'm just touching it every day, doing something to it every day, breaking something every day. Because, again, some of these parts I make, they do not work. Once I get them on there, I'm like, oh, yeah, I fucking, especially when it's torn down, you forget the pieces that have to be on the bike. So I made like a fucking a mount for my hatchet, my Steel City hatchet, twisted one. And then I was like, oh, that's not going to work once I put the pipes back on. Like a fucking idiot. So I'm really, I'm making a lot of mistakes because I'm rushing. And my goal is to have this thing riding down the road at the end of this month. So running out of days and weeks here, fellas. So I'm just chopping it up and grinding away. And if, I'm definitely going to be making some more mistakes, but I'm pretty much done all the fab work and ready to move on to some of the fun stuff. The paint is going to be huge. I'm going to be doing a legit paint job on this one. So I was talking to Dan and I said, you know what? I'm just going to rattle can it again. And he put his finger, pressed it against my lips and just went, shh. And he said, don't do it, dude. Come on, man. How many bikes have you painted with rattle can? Let's kick it up a notch. So I bought some guns and some wicked expensive paint. Jesus Christ, a quart of paint is expensive. I mean, I'm just going to call this Ryno bitches about how much money he's been spending episode. But man, it's fucking expensive for a quart of paint, So hopefully I paint other things, these colors and the things that I got. But like, you have to get primer, base, reducer, activator, clear, all sorts of shit, and metal flake. It just adds up. And I'm not painting much, man. I'm doing a tank and a fender, but I'll be able to do more after this, I guess, because I'll have this set up. So I also, with that, I have to set up my fucking air compressor because I moved it, did a little garage renovation. I'm adding a toilet, bathroom. So I had to move my compressor across the fucking garage, and I have the piping. It's all piped into the garage. I had to pull all that shit down, and now I have to hook it all back up, and then I have to make a temp paint booth. So I have it's pretty cool actually. I got these tracks off Amazon. Think of like a hospital room. They have those curtains that they, just that's like your room. There's like 3 people in the room, but they just pull the little curtain, and then you have some privacy. I got some of those off Amazon. It was like, I think it was like $50 for the track or something like that, and goes up super easy. And I just got some tarps from Harbor Freight on sale, and one of the bays in my garage goes around my garage door, the tracks for my garage door, and I just pull it shut. Got a paint booth. Because that shit gets fucking everywhere, dude. When you're painting, like, it just floats around the garage. Like, number one, it's just like you're breathing it in. You know what I mean? Like, you have the mask on, sure, but it fucking hangs in the air for a long time. So I'm just trying to cut down on that. But then also, like, when you're spraying that shit, it just goes all over your floor and all over your bikes and all over your other shit. So if you don't have like a dedicated paint booth, this seemed to work pretty well last time. I mean, that garage bay on the ground, like, that was fucked. The garage door was pretty fucked. But at least I kept my bikes and my tools and all that shit without fucking sparkles on them. You know, you don't want to necessarily metal flake your entire garage. So I'm excited to do that. Hopefully I'm going to be doing that next week. But yeah, this week I got to do powder coating. I got to do, I think, a little bit more Bondo on the frame. And I think I'm done with the fab. So I'll be moving on to the paint, the powder coat, the actual paint, and then reassembly. And then I got to make sure this motherfucker goes. I got to do the wiring still. I did the battery box, and I think I got all the wiring planned out already. I kind of already have all the materials from last time I wired a bike. And I think I know how to do it, so I'm going to try it, and I'm going to document it. Like I've been documenting pretty much anything interesting I'm doing. Like, obviously, like, there's not a, like, I'm not going to document making a headlight mount. It's kind of boring, you know, just like cut the metal and put the fucking weld it here. But things that I am doing that I want to document definitely is the wiring. I'm going to be doing that. I was hoping to get some of this material that I recorded so far out by last month, but man, I've been so fucking busy. Been busy at work. Been busy with this podcast. Been busy on the bike, and got a lot of curveballs thrown at me. So, like I said, I just like shit. My fucking house is falling apart. I don't have a lot of time to edit videos, so I will get those out this month. Is my new plan. I just need like a goddamn break. God, you know what I mean? Like, give me a day when something doesn't get fucked up, and I will get those videos edited and uploaded, because I know we got some new Patreons that we're looking for them, and they are forthcoming. But like I said, hey, if you're a fucking video editor and you're like, hey, I got tons of free time and I love the show, I'd love your help with some of this shit, because I'm only one man and I'm trying to hold it all together. But I think it's really important to get that stuff out there, and I'm excited to share what I know, which isn't very much, but happy to share it with everybody out there. Well, I guess you have to be a hood rat to get that shit. Speaking of which, I want to move on to shows, sponsors, and shout-outs. I'm going to just start with the shout-outs. Shout out to the hood rats. Number one, you guys keep the show going, because all this stuff costs money, you know, just to even like post shit, and to have a video podcast and have a domain and all that shit, all costs money. And you guys keep this shit afloat, and you enable me to be able to do things like have a video podcast with decent audio. You guys keep me stoked. You guys are all the ones that every week you're sharing this shit out. You know, every week you're like commenting on our shit or DMing me or fucking whatever it is, and just being like, yo, man, doing great, or here's some feedback. You're not doing this so great. So shout out to the Hood Rats. And I got to say, I just dropped our third installment of Hood Rat Stories. That is, if you sign up to be a Hood Rat, which is our top tier Patreon subscriber, you get your own episode. Now, I do try to do one a month, and I had to reschedule our last one because my basement was fucking flooded. But we got her done. We had to push it out. It was with Not Cool Nate Bev. And one thing I got to say about the Hood Rats, now I've done 3 of them, and I already knew Nick, but I never met Nate. You know, we chat online. Never met Elvis, though we chat quite a bit online. Hood Rats are the fucking shit, dude. I'd hang out with any of these guys. And I do. Actually, I've hung out with Nick quite a bit. But these other guys, you know, like Nate's out in Cali, Elvis is out in Chicago. Dude, they're all wicked cool. Because I don't know, right? I'm like, all right, well, they signed up. They must be cool. But then I get to talk to them and get to know them. And I'm like, these fucking guys are awesome, dude. So sign up to listen to those. They're like better than regular episodes. I mean, they're definitely better than the one I'm going to be putting out right now. Hell of a lot more interesting, but super cool dudes. And I'm just going to shout out, dude, we got a bunch of new members in the last week. Actually, right after I dropped that Nate, Not Cool Nate Bev app, got a bunch of new guys. Sunny D's, Rat Fink 707, Timmy DeVos, Matt Skaggs signed up, Hood Rats, Riff Raff. I did put that Nate one on Patreon. If you do $1, $5, or $10, you got that one. I just wanted to give you guys a little taste. But Yeah, dude. Shout out to you, motherfuckers. Keep us going, and definitely me. Like, dude. Probably there's at least one time a week when I'm just like, I'm fucking quitting. Like I'm gonna buy a school bus, convert it into a fucking house, and just travel the world. And every once in a while, you guys center me. When I mention shit like this, I think I mentioned something a couple weeks ago. People reach out, they text me, they fucking DM me like, bro, don't give up. So keep me stoked. I want to keep on doing this. And Hood Rats, you guys fucking keep me stoked, dude. I can't believe like how loyal you guys have been. I mean, dude, I was talking to Nate. He's been on Patreon fucking forever. Well before I was a host, I actually stole his back in the day, back in the OG Lowlife Chopper podcast days. I think he was the first, maybe even the only person to lose out on a monthly giveaway because he wasn't following 812 Inc. So he changed his name from Nate Bev to Not Cool Nate Bev. And it's persisted. He's still Not Cool Nate Bev. But then they redrew, and then it was me. I won. So yeah, dude, you got, speaking of giveaway sponsors, we got Roth Cycle Solutions. That is Kevin Roth is giving away a sissy bar, and it's fucking sick. It's stainless steel. He showed it on his episode, which was a couple weeks back, and dude's wicked talented. I saw that he was building some sick ass bars, and I saw a bunch of familiar names. So I'm hoping that you lowlives, after you saw that episode, hit him up and got some custom shit done. But he's an absolute powerhouse, dude. And the sissy bar, I'm not even going to unwrap it. He wrapped it so nice that I'm just going to be sticking a fucking USPS sticker on it, and it's going right back in the mail. So I'm not going to rewrap it. Like the bars that I sent out, I bailed them out like maybe a week or so ago, or maybe it was this weekend. But what a pain in the ass. If you don't have like boxes, when you get a box from Amazon and there's like one thing in it and it's oddly shaped and it's just huge fucking box. I don't got boxes like Amazon, dog. So I got to wrap this shit up with whatever I got lying around. And what a fucking pain in the ass. So check out Roth Cycle Solutions. Go give him a follow on IG. Go check out his episode. Super talented guy, up and comer, and definitely support him. He's a cool dude, and he's doing cool shit. Really quality shit too. Like after looking at like the sissy bar I made compared to his, I was like, I have no business making sissy bars. My shit looks like dog shit. So yeah. Shows. Let's get into some shows. All right, you guys know what to do. Open up your calendar app. Open up your fucking, I don't know, how do you record what you need to do? Maybe you just tell your wife or your girlfriend or whatever. Maybe it's like memento and you get it like tattooed on yourself. So when you look in the mirror, you're like, oh yeah, I gotta go to the Reviver show, May 24th. That's Memorial Day weekend. Starts at noon. We got some heat. I gotta still suit. I'm way behind on everything. I still gotta let everybody know we made the decision on who's gonna be in the show. I'm gonna be reaching out to you guys soon. If I haven't by the time this drops, I don't think I probably will, but I will be getting back to you very, very soon. We got to go check the place out. It's at 100 Technology Drive. That's the brandy new Harley Davidson dealership. That's in Hooksett, New Hampshire. So Saturday, May 24th, you will not be on Uncle Bob's fucking pontoon boat, and you will not be getting a sunburn because you're like, oh, it's not that hot out. It's still May. And then you don't put any sunscreen on with your pasty ass. So you're going to be coming to our show, indoor-outdoor show. We're still looking for vendors. So if you want to vend, hit us up. Just hit up the page or email me at ryno@thelowlifepodcast.com. Infinite space for vendors. Infinite space. So you don't even have to worry about that, dog. We already have a couple people signed up. Harley's going to be bringing some of their own vendors, and we want some cool shit there. So if you do cool shit, hit me up, and I'll secure a spot. But yeah, be there. Because if this show doesn't absolutely motherfucking pop, I will not be doing another one. But we will be going to check out the new Harley Davidson dealership at the end of this month. It's not even done yet. I think we're one of the first shows there. I think it's going to be opening. I think they're moving in at the end of this month, maybe early May. There's not even going to be fucking shit stains on the urinals yet. So make sure you mark your calendar. May 24th. Be there. I'm going to be shit-faced. I'm going to be partying my ass off. It's going to be fucking fun. Okay? We got a couple of debut bikes there, too. Some real cool ones. So, yeah. You don't want to miss out on being the first to see some of the coolest motherfucking shit coming out of the Northeast. The other show you want to put in May is the La Spada Chopper Show. That's the 4th annual La Spada Chopper Show. That is 576 Primrose Street in Haverhill. They got some debut bikes coming there, too. I know those dudes. I know some of the guys that are going to be in that show. They always bring the motherfucking heat. That show is awesome. Anybody who's anybody in New England goes to that show. Definitely be there. I'm going to be there. Dan's going to be there. And as per usual, I will be getting shit-faced in the middle of the day. It's my favorite thing to do. There's going to be, I think they're doing tintype photos. They always have like tattoo artists there. Like cool shit, dude. If you're into that sort of shit and maybe not into bikes necessarily, why are you listening to this show? But definitely get out to that one. That is like a season opener. I think it's the first show. You know, there's some swap meets right now, but I think that's the first New England like chopper show and one of the best. The other thing I want to say is Party at the Pen East. That is June 7th and 8th at the Shawshank Prison. I'm going to be up in you, Ohio. Dan's going to be all up in you. Our boy Alex Lang's going to be all up in you. We're going to be Eiffel Towering you, motherfuckers. Get out there. I want to meet you. If you're from that area, I know a lot of motherfuckers from the Northeast are going. Like a surprising amount of people. They're like, that's just east enough. There's a lot of dudes from New Hampshire going. But if you're in the traveling vicinity of that show, get there. And I'm going to be getting shit-faced and partying. That's what I do. I look at bikes, and I drink beers, and I drink liquor, and I smoke cigarettes sometimes. So get out to the Party at the Pen, early June. I think it's Danny's birthday around that time, too. So we're going to get him a little cake, see how old he is. Mark your calendars, August, the Deadbeat Retreat. We never miss it, man. I've been going for years. It's the most fun event. It's the best camping event. I'm 100% locked in on that show. I'm definitely going to be there. I'm going to talk to Steve about doing some cool shit. We usually cover the bike games, but I have something different planned this year, and I already booked. I already got my spot, dog. I already put the deposit down. So go buy your tickets. They're live now. Deadbeatcustoms.com. Long time. The longest timest sponsor of this show. Steve over there. He's fucking supported us through everything. Even change a host and change the name. It's essentially a different podcast. He still fucking supports it. It was the Lowlife Chopper podcast. There was a guy named Grease and a guy named Loctite. Now it's the Lowlife podcast, and there's a guy named Dan and a guy named Ryan. And he still supports it. He's like, I don't give a fuck, dog. I'm down like that. So definitely get out to Deadbeat this year. I'm thinking about doing an early extended weekend. So if you're interested and you're a party fucking animal, hit me up. Because if I get enough people together that want to go out on Thursday and go out to Troy and go to the fucking El Dorado and hang out with Benny, get fucked up and do some fucked up shit, then hit me up. I'm not going to ride out there solo, probably. You know, because a lot of people, part of the fun of Deadbeat is the ride. So if I can get a group of people that were like, yeah, I'll fucking meet you in Troy, or I'll meet you in Vermont, or yeah, I'll come out to, and we'll roll out Thursday. Hit me up so we can have an extended weekend. Party in Troy, and then we go down to the fucking Catskills and party at the Blackthorn Resort. All right. Next up, I want to get into Ryno's mailbag.
Letters in the bag. Oh, what a thrill. Ryno sending word gives me chill. Every note he writes make you so divine. Hold him close to my heart.
This is from Elvis Quamback. Mailbag Q. Let me wet my whistle here before I read this. I don't have like time to drink my beer when I'm constantly talking, when it's just me. All right. Here's a fun one. How do you measure your chain slack on a chopper? And I'm talking hardtail chopper that obviously doesn't use factory specs. Great question. Great question. I don't really measure it. Like, when you have stock shit, you kind of like, there's like a deflection and it's like a certain amount of fucking centimeters or whatever. Or if you have a belt, there's like sometimes they have a deflection thing like right on the chain guard. But yeah, once you get a chopper, dude, and you put that chain conversion kit on it or whatever, and maybe you're not familiar with chains. With a hardtail, I just put that shit tight. Like it doesn't need like flex. Like with a swing arm, it needs some travel. You know what I mean? Now don't fucking tighten the shit out of it because you'll lose a fucking arm. Like that chain will whip off and hit your homie behind you or something. But I just make it so it's tight, so it doesn't really deflect at all. Like maybe just like pushing down on it slightly, like maybe there's a little play, but I just get it tight. It depends on what kind of chain you have too. I'm a big proponent of getting a good chain, like not even just a decent chain. Don't get the cheapest chain. Been there, done that. You just adjust it all the time. You go out on a ride for 100 miles or 50 miles and you're fucking adjusting the goddamn thing. So get a good chain and then make it tight. Like if there's any play in it, just back it up a little bit more. And then when it stops having play, I think that's pretty good. It shouldn't be so fucking tight it doesn't move at all, though. Like it should just give a little bit. Yeah, I don't know if that's a good answer. Like just tight with. I can't give you like a measurement. There's not a good way to say it. Just tight, but not fucking crazy tight. I think I had another one here. I have so many fucking submissions. Hold on a second. Okay. Here's a good question for you. How much do you actually need fuses on a chopper? When I rewired my bike last year, I skipped putting on any fuses for whatever reason, and it's still running just fine. I get that if a fuse gets blows, it saves a component or system on the bike, but if it's going to break anyways, why not just skip the warning and let the fucker break so it can get fixed? Fuses are just cheap insurance, like you don't want to fry a headlight. Like sometimes depends how much you fucking spend on them. But fuses I actually like wiring with fuses in a fuse block because it just like when I'm plugging everything in together, like everything's going to the same place. So I don't do like inline fuses or like, I mean, maybe sometimes from like the battery, like a 30 amp fuse from the battery or something. But I like fuses because you just have them in a fuse block and then all your electronics are right there and you can trace the wire that goes from here. Yep, that connection's good to the component, and that wire's good and that fuse is good and you can trace it back to the component. So it protects things like expensive things probably. Like if you got like a fucking, let's say you got a really expensive headlight, like one of those F&A pancake lights. Those are fucking expensive. I don't want to fry that. Fuck, dude. I spent like $30 on my headlights, like on one of them. I don't want to fry that either. So I would say definitely pop in some fuses. If you have it wired with no fuses, pop an inline fuse on some of those components. Like maybe not a taillight if it's just a piece of shit taillight. Who fucking cares? But yeah, I like using fuses because it tells you what's not working too. So on the fuse block that I've used it on the last couple, but I'm using it again on this build. So it'll be part of that wiring tutorial that I'm doing. But it has little LEDs next to the fuse, so it'll tell you if it's blown. So you don't have to be like, what the fuck, and like go through every component. You don't need like a multimeter to figure out like what's fucked up. You just look down at the fuse block and you're like, that fuse, that's the circuit that's fucked. And then you can go fix it. You know, you can just trace it back from that wire. So yeah, dude, definitely, I would say, yeah, I've never seen a wiring diagram without fuses in it or breakers. So definitely use those. And if you don't have them, I'd say that you probably should. It's going to save you a headache. Cool. All right. We got the housekeeping out of the way. Yep. So show sponsor shout outs. We got the fucking mailbag. I felt like maybe going on a rant, but maybe I'll save it. I'm not feeling too spicy right now. I've been pissed off though. I forget what I was watching. Something pissed me off. It was fucking Saw. Now you guys are gonna be like, Ryan, you old curmudgeon, you. But I'm gonna do a rant. Let's roll it. Roll that beautiful rant footage.
Ryno rages, Ryno rants. He hates everything and he hates to dance. He's going on a tear and there's nothing you can do. Fuck everybody and fuck you too.
All right, guys. If there's one thing I cannot stand, you already know this, the lip syncing, okay? But here's something that might be a little bit more, I don't know, subjective. But I was watching this video, and it was like one of those fail videos, you know? But it just got me thinking how old and fucking ornery I've gotten. But I saw these young men, and I'm at the age now where I don't go to weddings anymore, right? But there was a time in my life that every fucking weekend during wedding season, one of your friends or your girlfriend's friend or you ended up at a wedding like every weekend. It's typically, I think it's like in your early 30s or like late 20s, like everybody's getting married and you go to all these weddings and you're broke and you give them shitty wedding gifts. But you always get dressed up nice. And I love weddings. They're fun because they're typically like my favorite weddings are always open bar. And you just go there and get smashed and you wear a bow tie or whatever the fuck you do. I don't wear a bow tie, but you wear a nice shirt or something. But one thing I don't understand, and one thing I this video I was watching is just like all these guys dancing, like really getting after it, you know, and not like they're not like break dancers. They're not doing like the tango or something skilled. It's just fucking people like dancing around. Every girl has their shoes off, which, by the way, I think is so fucking annoying. It's like, put your fucking stank ass foot back in there. I want to see your foot. Yeah, I get it. You're in high heels. Why don't you just wear flats? Nobody gives a fuck about you in your high heels. Bring a second set of shoes. I don't want to see you in your hosiery fucking dancing around. Anyways, back to the men dancing. Unconscionable. First of all, you don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're just flailing your arms around. But I don't think dudes should dance. I'm sorry. Call me old fashioned, but it's fucking shameful. You look like an idiot. You're not even doing like a dance move. The DJ throws on some fucking like 90s or early aughts rap, and these dudes are going crazy. And they're bouncing around. They're like laughing and stuff. I lose all respect for a dude that dances. Gangsters don't dance. We boogie. I don't mind if you can bob your head. You can throw up some, shoot, like some finger guns or something, like get after it with the music, bob your head. Or if you're into hardcore, like my boy Dan is, go punch some people in the face, throw some elbows, like that kind of dancing. That's fine. But you should be having fun out in public. That's retarded. All right. You look like an idiot. And it's shameful. And that's my rant. Men should not dance. And women should keep their fucking shoes on. Learn how to dance in high heels. Or maybe just like, I don't know, have a pack some sneakers, have some New Balance or something. Actually, that's kind of a gross look too. It's just like the old lady at the office look, she's in like a suit like with like a skirt suit, and then she's like going for my walk at lunch, and she puts on her like gross sneakers. Anyways, today, what I really wanted to talk about, because I've been building, and last week we kind of touched on it. We didn't do as much as I wanted to because we were talking about some other bullshit. But it's hacking season, it's build season up here in the Northeast, and I wanted to talk about tools because I've had a lot of time to think. I don't listen to music in the garage really. It's usually pretty quiet. I mean, sometimes if I'm doing something like just fucking sanding Bondo off and I know I'm going to be there for an hour, I'll throw on a podcast or something. But most of the time it's just silent. It's just me thinking and trying to figure stuff out. And I can't do it when there's a bunch of shit going on. So I just fucking chill and I just work in the silence. And all I can hear is what's going on. But when I'm starting to build, and I'm not a professional. And dudes, if you fucking are a professional bike builder, you might be like, this is going to be boring. But this show isn't just for you guys. It's for the newbies. One of my missions for this show is to get young guys into this shit. You know, there's some young guys, they're coming up, and they need a good role model. And I can be your role model, buddy. All right? I have lots of life experience, and I'm pretty much right about everything. Prove me wrong. Now, I'm not great at bike building, but what I do have is stick-to-itiveness. And I'm a deep thinker. So part of the reason I'm in the garage, it's silent, I'm in my thoughts. You know, it's kind of like a meditation for me. But I work a lot of shit out. And one thing that I wanted to impart to you is, there's certain things, if you're going to build a chopper specifically too, that you need to absolutely fucking have in your garage. And you might not be there yet, but you're going to have to get there. And these things don't just make your life easier. These are the tools that are essential to building a chopper. You have to have them. So I'm going to do my top 5 favorite tools or essential tools or whatever I call this show. But just 5 tools. And they're in no particular order. I'm just going to go through a list because I think the first one is actually the most interesting. Oh, I tried the Coors, guys. Couldn't do the banquets, man. These Modelo's, dude, I'll pay the fucking extra 100% tariff on these. They're so goddamn good. They're so creamy. They just go down like a beer should, a good beer should. Ice cold. All right. The first tool that you absolutely need to have is a TIG welder. I didn't just say welder. I said TIG welder. Let me tell you why. Yes, you can with a MIG, but you can do it better with a TIG. And everybody that I know personally that has a MIG, they're envious of the TIG. There's things you can do with a TIG welder that you can't do with a MIG welder. Out of the box, like, let's say stainless. Take a MIG out, I think you can do, I'm not a welder professionally. Pretty sure you can get like a spool gun or something and do stainless welding with it. But that's expensive. And you can do that right out of the box with a TIG welder. The price. Yeah, you can get a cheap MIG welder. But boy, you can get a cheap TIG welder these days too. I mean, fucking Harbor Freight has a TIG welder available in consumables. I mean, you can go to Harbor Freight and throw that shit on the fucking Harbor Freight credit card that I know you got. And I know you're in the Inside Track Club, so you're going to get a good deal. So it's not cost prohibitive. And the advantages are great. First of all, you're going to get better welds, I think. If you're a novice. Like, and any of you guys that are professional welders, feel free to fucking tear me apart on this one. But from my experience, a novice welder will have better welds with TIG than with MIG. It's going to penetrate deeper. And I'm not saying you can't achieve the same results, right? I'm just saying, like, if you're a dude like me and you go and buy a welder, you're going to do better welds with TIG. They're going to look better, and you're going to have a better range on what materials you can work with. And again, back to the cost. I mean, I got a brand new TIG welder for $399, Everlast. They don't have that model anymore, but it is, I think it was STHI or something. DC welder, comes with a stick welder. So if you do have to do some nasty shit, you can do stick. I mean, that's another advantage of the TIG welder. All the TIG welders are TIG and stick. So you got that. It's a multifunction machine. Like, all of them are multifunction. It's just an electrode. Get a fucking rod from Tractor Supply, and bang, you're stinging, baby. MIG welder, you're kind of locked in. And it's just like I said, you can get a TIG welder. It's not crazy money. Like, so you don't need AC/DC. All right. So once you go into, if you want to be like, oh, I want to be able to do anything, I want to be able to do aluminum. I'm telling you, man, 95% of what I do is all mild and stainless. Mild and stainless. I haven't touched aluminum yet, and I could probably go the rest of my life without touching aluminum. If I had like a case repair to do or something, I might not even want to do that myself. So I don't even care about the aluminum. I do want to upgrade, though, to AC/DC machine, just because I'm at that point where it would be nice to have. And I've come across a couple of things where I'm like, oh, fuck, that's aluminum. I can't use that. But most of what you're going to do is mild and stainless, and you get that with just a DC machine. And it's going to cost you, like I said, Everlast is not the cheapest, but it's not the most expensive. And if you're like me and you're just a garage builder, you don't need a fucking Lincoln. You don't need a fucking Miller. There's plenty of budget options available. Everlast is great. I have it. I'm a little bit biased. They have their headquarters is in like California. You have Prime Weld. Their headquarters is in like fucking New Jersey. Yeah, they're not made here, but their customer service is headquartered here. And I haven't had to use it yet. But a couple things about the cost. You don't have to buy it new. And I was just looking, because I was looking to upgrade, recently. And I was just looking on Facebook Marketplace. Dude, you can get some good deals. I actually was going to buy this one. There was a Prime Weld, I think it's what it's called, with a cart with a bunch of the fucking Weldmonger fucking shit in a case, like all for like $800 or something like that. But the guy like didn't want to talk to me. I was like, I'll come pick it up tomorrow. And he's like, I'm not around tomorrow. I'm like, okay, fucking Sunday. And he didn't just ghosted me, wouldn't answer me. So he's a fucking prick. And if you listen to the show, fuck you. But yeah, dude, get a second hand. You don't need a first hand. You don't need it brand new out of the box with that new welder smell. And like I said, dude, even if you do buy it new, yes, there's going to be some things that you're going to have to buy with it. And I'm going to go through that right now. Because I didn't do this when I first bought mine. I got mine, like I said, for $399. And all it comes with is the welder and your torch and maybe like some little odds and ends. But it comes with this like little finger thing on and off. But if you're buying something entry level, there's only a few features. Like, you're not going to have pulse, right? If you want to have pulse, you're going to be spending north of $800. If you want to be able to do AC, you're going to be spending fucking $1,000. But just like entry level TIG, you're going to be spending, $400 or $500 to get started. So you're going to get the unit. And what I did was, it was $399. I think it was on sale or something. And I said, fuck it. And it has one of the best features that you're going to want is high frequency start. So there's lift arc, which you have to put it on to whatever you're welding. And then when you lift it off, it starts. High frequency start, it's hovering right where you need it, and then as soon as you hit the pedal or the fucking finger trigger or whatever, it's just going to start going. So get one with high frequency start, just does DC, and has like a stick welder in case you have to do some shit. I don't miss it at all. Like I don't miss having like, so really for me, the decision, I really wanted to have pulse because I wanted to be laying them dimes, dog. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like cheating, you know, kind of like you can set the pulse and just like move it along or whatever. And you can get those like stack of dimes. But, you know, I was watching tons of videos and shit on welding. And one of them was an old timer, you know, I think it was like weld.com or something. They have some cool like startup videos. And he was like, you can buy the fanciest machine, but if you can't like the art of TIG welding, if you can't TIG weld with a basic machine, you're not a good welder. And for me, that's what made me pull the trigger on the most. I wanted one with all these features, but what I really needed was just a simple TIG welder so I could learn the technique. So don't try to hide your like, yeah, you're going to suck at first. Dude, I've been doing it for years. I still kind of suck. I mean, but I've never had a weld fail on any of my bikes. And I've done hardtails. I've done all sorts of parts. I've never had a weld crack. The fucking shit will hold. Even if you're shitty like me. Even though some people say I'm good, I'm definitely not like good. I know like when I see someone like grease weld and I like firsthand, I'm like, that's good. Right? I get it done though, baby. So don't let that stop you. You're not going to be the best and you're going to have to learn. There's a sharp learning curve, but once you get it, you can stick fucking metal together, dude. So yeah, I was like, all right, is what inspired me just to get a basic TIG welder, was just learn the technique of TIG welding. Just get that down. And once you're good at that, then you can get all the fucking bells and whistles and all the cool shit. Right. So yeah, $400. I think it was free shipping. What I didn't do, this particular model, and I think they do now, they all come with a foot pedal. You're going to want a foot pedal. If it just comes with high frequency start with a little finger button, you're going to have to be fucking with amperage all the time. Right. So with MIG, it's all about like wire speed, amperage, all that shit, right? So you have to like get the settings right, and they tell you like what, like on the box, like on the welder, it'll say like this thickness, this type of steel, like have this and this, these are the settings, and you just set it to it, and then you bzz. But with TIG, it's more like a spiritual thing where you have to like know what you're working on and like focus on the puddle, right? So what I do is, number one, if you have just the finger thing, you're like, all right, so what is this? You're going to be fucking with the amperage and shit, so you don't go too high, because once it's on, it's just on. So what the foot pedal does is the harder you push it, the more amperage comes out. So if you're plugged into, and another thing is, you can do it on 120, all right? I have, 240 in the garage, and that's what I use, but they have a little adapter, and sometimes I use it if I have to move it to somewhere, like when I was welding a bed frame in my bedroom. Put it on 120. Comes with the little pigtail. I didn't have to buy that separate. But that'll get you up to 120 amps or something like that. Or 100 amps it goes up to. I forget what it is on mine. But once you get the foot pedal, you use the whole range, baby. So you can start, if you just lightly touch it, it's going to start that arc. And then the harder you push the pedal, the more intense it gets. So I don't fuck with settings. I just crank it all the way up, and I can just see what I'm doing. And if it needs more heat or less heat, I just move my foot accordingly. The other thing with the foot pedal is, a lot of times with the bike and getting things tacked on there, sometimes it's a fitment thing. Foot pedal can be a little bit tricky to operate if you're like, say you're laying down or whatever, but you figure it out, man. You don't need a foot on it. It could be a head pedal. It could be an elbow pedal. You can put it under your arm, You get pretty good at fucking with that pedal. I've even had it on my foot, like just if I'm laying down on the ground and have it all the way extended and just like pushing it on my toe, like the side of my foot. So you get the technique down. But yeah, you're gonna suck at first. Just get some sheet metal, some scrap metal, and practice cleaning, because TIG needs to be clean. Bright, shiny metal, and fuck tons of acetone. I'm like addicted to the smell of acetone, dude. I don't think I'm supposed to be breathing that shit in. we're going to see in about 20 years what kind of cancer I develop. But I spray that shit all over it, you know. I have, you know, the Scotch-Brite, the red Scotch-Brite. I have obviously my flap disc to get things prepped, and then drench whatever you're working on acetone. And then the technique just comes along, right? Just the more beads you put down and the more times you like fuck it up, the better you get. And dude, I still dip my fucking tungsten, and I still fucking forget to put the ground clamp on and all that shit. But man, the things I've been able to do with that TIG welder is just amazing. And it will just a $400 TIG machine is going to get you everything from welding your own hardtails, which by the way is not very hard. You don't need a fucking frame jig. You can do it down and dirty, baby. All the way to making your own stainless parts. And you're going to want to work with stainless. So get a TIG welder. Now, you're going to have to buy a bottle of argon. I got a 60. Man, I don't remember what I paid for it, but I was going to get a backup. And they're fucking expensive now. Hundreds of dollars plus a fill. So get a tank, a small tank, and then you're going to want some consumables, right? A couple of things I would recommend is, number one is a foot pedal. Get a foot pedal. Don't even fuck around. Don't try to learn TIG without one. It's fucking stupid. I did the little finger torch thing forever, and it was such a pain in the ass. Consumables, you don't have to fucking break the bank, man. You're learning, you know? You're going to be breaking cups. You're going to be fucking smoking tungsten. So pretty much all I use is, 2% lanthanated little blue band. Get them on Amazon, dude. They're fucking cheap. They're pretty much giving it away on Amazon. You can get cup sets, you know, like all the cups. Get gas lens kits. Just go on Amazon, dude. They're like, seriously, like $12 for like 15 cups. And if you don't know what a gas lens kit is, inside the cup, there's a little screen. And basically, it's like the principle is like the same as like your faucet, you know, like on your sink. There's a little screen. You take that screen out, it just everywhere. That little screen kind of keeps it in a nice little pattern. So I definitely highly recommend a gas lens kit. And it doesn't have to be those big fucking goofy looking white cups and shit, right? Just go on Amazon. I use a number 6 for everything. Little pink guy, gas lens kit, little 6. For me, I've used them all, and that one, it gets into the tight spaces. It gives me enough coverage. That's just my preference. You know, I'm sure there's like, and plus I don't want to spend all my money on argon. So I'm not having like fucking 20-second post flows. I'm not back purging shit. Like, I'm just as simple as it gets, guys. Gas lens kit seems to help with the argon coverage. And then I use cheap ass consumables, dude, on Amazon. I've been doing this for years. I'm not like buying all that fucking crazy shit. You don't need it. Especially when you just get started. So to start, you buy the fucking unit, $400. Go get a fucking tank of argon, couple other $100. Maybe you're up to $500-$600 now. Then go on Amazon, buy gas lens kits, tungsten, and get your rods on Amazon too, because you get way more for your money. And you're doing shit in your garage, dude. Like, maybe I wouldn't recommend getting shit off Amazon like mad cheap if you were doing customer work. But I'm not talking about doing this as a side hustle, boys. I'm talking about building bikes and fabricating. Just get fucking cheap ass shit. It works fine. Works great. Like, dude, I got more fucking. By the way, I use 308L on everything. It's for stainless, and it works on mild steel, and it works on stainless steel, on 304 stainless. So 308L, I went on Amazon. And I bought like fucking 50 pounds, and it was so goddamn, it was like $20 and came like the next day. And they're all like half, they're not the big long rods. I hate using those where you're just like fucking, you know, and I'm not cutting them. These are just like cut in half. They're like half ones. And I just got a brick of it for like fucking $20, and it works great. And I don't even care if I fucking throw it on the ground and there's half a stick left. It doesn't matter. It's so cheap. And it works just fine. Like I said, dude, like, it's not, you don't have to be great. You don't have to be good. You just have to do it, right? So don't let that shit hold you back. Just fucking do it, and do it bad. Like, dude, I'm welding shit on this frame, and things need to be clean to TIG weld. Sometimes I'm just going right over that powder coat. I don't give a fuck, dude. It'll smoke out. I'm inhaling it, but just get it done. You're building bikes here. You're not building you're not building the Sistine Chapel, Like, this isn't your life's work. You just got to get it done. Do it okay. Do a good job. Do as well as you can. But it doesn't have to be so fucking hard. You don't always have to give 110%. Right? Just give it 60. Give it 60 every once in a while. At least you're still doing it. Don't give it 0, though. That's the point. Don't ever give 0%. You don't have to give it 110. Just give it. Right? So yeah, TIG welding, I think, is the way to go. If you're on the fence, if you don't have a welder, here's number one. I don't think you can build bikes. I don't think you can build choppers without a welder. I don't understand how you can do it. I've been working on this thing every single fucking day. I'm making parts and welding shit every single day. I don't know how you can do it. It must be so hard to get bikes the way you want them because they're all different. And like, what do you have to use? Like existing shit? Like, I don't get it. I don't get how you can build bikes without one. So if you don't have one, you want to build bikes, get one. And if all you can afford is a fucking MIG, then do that. Just do it. But I highly recommend if you're on the fence, TIG or MIG, dude, save your pennies. Save an extra couple paychecks up and get a TIG. It's not cost prohibitive anymore. And like I said, I spent $3.99 on the fucking machine, brand new. And I wish I would have got one secondhand because there's dude, go on Facebook Marketplace right now and look up TIG welder. Used on one project. Who the fuck buys, where do you get all this money? I see this all the time on Facebook Marketplace. They have this wicked, crazy, nice equipment, and they're like, yeah, just use it on one job. What, you're going to buy an entire TIG setup and just use it for one job? What the fuck? I wish I had that kind of loot, dude. Just buy a tubing bender, you make one set of handlebars, and then fucking sell it for half price on Facebook Marketplace. Must be nice. But you definitely go out and get that TIG welder. You have to have a welder because you don't want to just buy everything. I guess unless you're rich, maybe you're one of those guys that can just buy a welder for a single project. If you are, then why are you listening to me, dude? You already got shit figured out well enough to be able to have that kind of loot. You don't need me. But if you're a dirtbag, go ahead and get a TIG welder on Facebook Marketplace, because usually those dudes also have like fucking tons of all the consumable stuff, and they'll just give it away because they're going to sell that and then try to sell tungsten and cups and stuff separately. They just package it all together. You get a good deal, and it's good to go. So my first recommendation would be get a TIG welder off Marketplace or Craigslist if you're a serial killer, and you can just get the whole kit and caboodle. I mean, they're going to give you the tank. You might have to fill the tank, but at least you'll have the tank, and then all the consumable bullshit. All right. Next tool. I think that's all I had for welding. But I'm a proponent of the TIG welder. Every single motherfucker I know that has a MIG welder wants to TIG weld. So don't be that guy. Don't get the MIG welder. And don't get all the bells and whistles. Just get a fucking basic TIG. Next up, my second tool, a compressor. I'm always surprised to go over someone's house. I go over their garage. They don't have a compressor. Like, you don't have a compressor. Not even a compressor. How do you fill up the tires on your car? Like, them shits go flat like every other week. What if your kid has a fucking like inner tube they need blown up? What are you blowing that up with your breath? I know you smoke a pack and a half a day, bruh. Get a fucking compressor. I don't care if it's a pancake compressor. It's gonna. I do mind if it's a pancake compressor. That's fine for like your average dad, that's just like blowing up soccer balls and stuff. But we're doing heavy lifting here, boys. All right, and gals, we're gonna be blowing shit up. Compressor. I have an 80-gallon 2-stage compressor, and I used it, for media blasting. So I got it I had a pretty nice setup. It's not that expensive. I got a 80-gallon 2-stage compressor for $800 secondhand. And you can get a brand new one for $1,000. I think you can get an Ingersoll Rand 60-gallon 2-stage for $1,000. So for $1,000 and under, you're gonna have a compressor. Now you're saying, right, guy, you don't need fucking 80 gallons or 60 gallons to blow up tires, for your motorcycle or whatever. Yeah, let me explain. The episode's not done yet, guy. So what a compressor allows you to do is just fill up tires, right? So if you're changing your own tires, you're going to need a compressor to blow them shits up, to seat the bead and all that stuff. You're going to want to be able to fill your tires up, like they get low on your car and your motorcycle. But here's the beauty of a compressor. You can run tools off it. That's why I say it's so important. If you work on your own cars, how the fuck do you do it if you don't have like an impact, like an air impact socket, Like, you need that shit to get some of these things off. There's, those things like every once in a while you come across a nut that like moves a shaft that's holding a shaft on, and it just spins and spins and spins. But you put an impact on it, it spins so fucking quick, it's like zzz, just right off, right? It's going to break red Loctite and all that shit. All those things that are like welded together. You put one of those motherfucking turn that baby up, and it's just going to spin right off. Here's another little tip. And I know everybody's going to be like, you can't do that. You put regular sockets on that shit. Fuck it, dude. I've done it 1,000 times. Never had one break. I'm sure someone's had one break, But maybe it was just a shit. Dude, and I don't even have like nice sockets. They're like Husky brand or something. But I never had one break on me, and I still use them. I use them on the impact. So you're going to have air tools. Dude, having a die grinder in your arsenal, like an air-fed die grinder, it's fucking beautiful, dude. You cannot match the fucking RPMs of an air tool. And when you're sanding something, in a die grinder, it's like, it's basically like it's at a right angle. You put all sorts of attachments on it, right? So like sanding, things like that. It just opens up a whole new world of tools for you. They have everything that you can think of in an electric tool. They have it in an air tool, right? So like sockets, stuff like that. What are those fucking things called? Dynaphiles, I think is like a brand name. But essentially like that's beautiful for welding. Those things work fucking great. Air tools are cheaper than fuck, dude. I just like cooked my fucking electric drill. I was looking for like a new cordless drill, and any decent ones, dude, are fucking $250. They're fucking wicked crazy expensive because the goddamn batteries are so nice. Go to Harbor Freight and just look at the air tools they have. They're like $10, $15 for like awesome air tools, like palm sanders and shit. And you're in the garage, so you don't need like a super long fucking hose. Like you get a fucking 25-foot hose, and you'll be fine coming right off the compressor. But what you're gonna want on the compressor is something to trap the air, the water. And there's a bunch of different ways to do this, right? The easiest way is they just have a little piece. It sits next to to your regulator, and it just fucking. I forget if you put it before or after. I think it's after. No, I think it's before. I don't know. But you can just look online, like what's an air circuit look like, right? You've seen some people use these long tubes. They have like little drains at the bottom. I think I'm eventually going to do that. But for right now, I'm just going to be doing just the. I forget. I can't even say. There's two different kinds of filters that trap the water. But when you heat up, the air is hot, right? Because you're compressing it. So the byproduct of that is moisture. That's going to get in your tank. And I found out the hard way, you don't want that shit in your tank. It gets in your lines. It gets in your tools. It rusts shit out. And it turns into this nasty goop because there's like, it mixes with oils and shit. So yeah, just get something to take the water out. And then you're going to want a regulator. And then you can attach fucking air tools to it, dude. And you're going to be a goddamn monster. And you're going to be able to unlock these frozen nuts that you've never been able to take off. And they're wicked quick too, by the way. Like you take off a nut. Like if you have a nut and you take it off with like a regular ratchet, it's like, take it off with a fucking ratchet, spinning like mad quick. It's like, fucking nuts spinning, dude. So you're going to be unlocking the power of air tools, which is fucking awesome. The other thing, paint. Arguably the most important part of your build. And custom paint jobs are expensive AF, bro. If these dudes are good, like, dude, thousands, right? I ain't paying thousands for a fucking paint job. No way, Jose. Can't afford it. I would love to. And if you're one of those dudes that just buys welders for a single project, you can probably just afford to send your shit out and get nasty ass paint jobs. But what are we doing here, guys? Aren't you here to learn, how to do this shit? You learned how to TIG weld. You learned how to do fucking engine work. You learned how to do fucking top end. You learned how to do, make your own foot controls. We're learning here. That's the whole fucking journey is about learning how to do things yourself. So I'm going to do it too. High velocity, low pressure, HVLP. HVLP. Yeah, I got that right. You're going to get a gun. And maybe I can make a recommendation. Dan gave me a recommendation. I bought one today. You don't have to go ham. Anything, any gun, a Harbor Freight gun, the purple gun, is better than a spray can. Oh, show. The quality of paint that you're going to have to use is going to be better than a spray can. Oh, show, right? Because it's catalyzed. But the compressor ties into this. You need air. You're not going to be sitting there with a hose. Although I've seen some people do that. Probably how they did it back in the day before compressors were invented. But get a compressor to run your air tools, but also your paint gun. You don't need as big a compressor for an air gun. But here's the thing. There's a duty cycle on any compressor, which means that for however much time that it's running, it needs to cool off because those things get fucking hot. And I don't give a fuck about my compressor. I run that shit. I was vapor honing with that shit constantly on. No duty cycle, no cooling off. That fucking shit got hot. But yeah, I think it's like what, 20, 30 PSI or whatever for a gun. I think they're different depending on what guns you're using for spray and paint, but very low. So if you get an air compressor, like a fucking huge one, it's going to be at like 120 PSI, and it's not going to kick on that often because you're spraying low velocity, But then you can do your own paint jobs. I actually just ordered. So Dan gave me some recommendation for the gun, and he gave me a recommendation for some paint. And shit's expensive, dog. But it's going to be fun to do. It's going to be fun to do this. I've done a million rattle can jobs, and it's time to step up, put on my big pants, put on big boy pants, change my dirty diaper, put on big boy pants, be a man. So I'm going to do an actual paint job, and I bet it's going to be fucking sick because I'm going to learn how to do it correctly. I've learned through the rattle can process of using 2K rattle can. So I'm not that scared, So maybe you take some baby steps. Maybe you do the rattle can, then you graduate. But you should definitely eventually graduate to doing your own. Dan's probably going to kill me. He's like, you're taking business away from me, motherfucker. But I think everybody should do this yourself, You should at least try it, right? Just try it out. But start with the rattle can because I dropped a few $100 today on this shit. But the compressor, the other thing about the compressor is I have mine all piped in. I got this like Max line, 3/4 inch line. It's fucking awesome because it's like aluminum tubing with like a rubber outer coating or plastic outer coating. and it gets piped right out. So it's the outlet on my compressor is 3/4 inch. So I'm not losing any capacity, any volume of air moving through the line. And once the line's pressurized, it comes down to these drops. And from there, I think it's like a 1/2 inch or something like that, right to whatever I'm using. Right. So if I have, I have everything has like a quick release on it. So anywhere in the garage that I am, I have it on every single wall and in the center of the garage. I have a drop. So I have 4 drops. I don't have one on the garage where the garage doors are, but I have one. There's a center post, has a drop, one on each wall. So I have 4 drops in the garage. So anywhere I go, there's air. So I can plug in a tool anywhere and have air. And as far as painting goes, I have one where I'm going to be doing my painting right on that wall. So, I think it was like $200, and my garage, it's not huge, but it ain't little either. I think it's like 20 by 25, something like that. 20 by 25. And I think this Max Line stuff was like $200. But, I got it because I used air tools, but I also had the vapor honer, and the vapor honer, the reason I needed like 3/4 capacity, and I can't have, dude, when you're sitting there like vapor honing for fucking hours, you don't want the compressor right here. You know what I mean? Just blaring in my ear. So I wanted to move it across the way. And then I was able to put it anywhere. But you don't need that shit, right? You just need a fucking hose, get a bushing from 3/4 down to whatever, and stick a 3/8 hose in there. And then fucking use your tools, use your spray gun, and definitely get a compressor. And if all you can afford is one of those little pancake ones, it's better than nothing. It's better than nothing. You ain't going to be running tools, but you could probably run a paint gun for a single paint job, and you're going to have to fill up your fucking kids' soccer balls, or footballs, hopefully. Soccer's fucking gay. All right, that's enough about the compressor. I love my compressor. I would love to have a better one, and I can't wait till this one eats shit so I can buy one. I should have gotten a better compressor before. And that's one of the rules, or one of the unwritten rules about compressors. They say, you go on these forums, you ask questions, and everybody says the rule of thumb with a compressor is buy the biggest one you can afford. So if you can only afford a fucking 20-gallon, get it, or save your pennies. The biggest one I could afford was a 2-stage 80 for $800. But I wish I had bigger and better ones, like really about the CFMs, especially with media blasting. But with air tools, you don't need huge CFMs to operate it. So you could probably do a 50, 60-gallon, be fine. But get one. I think I had a fucking Craftsman one for years. I think it was like a fucking 30-gallon or something like that. It was fucking awesome. Just having it wheeled around, you can bring it places. Very helpful. All right. Number 3, angle grinder. I know you're like, no duh, but listen, I brought this one up specifically because you need 2 angle grinders. One is not going to cut it. No pun intended. Here's why you're going to need 2. And I got mine. I have DeWalt. And I got on sale, and I got 2 for $99. Not bad. You want 2 because you're going to want a flap disc on one and a cutoff wheel on the other. That's what you're going to want. You don't want to have to constantly be changing from flap wheel to cutoff wheel. And I'm going to say this right now, too, is, like when you start fabricating parts, or if you're fabricating parts, constantly cutting and grinding, cutting and grinding, cutting and grinding, and rounding off and cleaning it up. So get 2. Mine stay on my welding table, right, for the most part. So I always know where they are. They're always right there, and that's also like where I fabricate from. So when I'm on the welding table, I'm not welding, I'm cutting, or I'm grinding. So get 2 grinding angle grinders. I had a Harbor Freight one, worked for fucking years. I think I still have it. I just upgraded. So you don't have to blow your whole wad on angle grinders, but I got the DeWalt one. Get one that's like a 2-pack if you can find it. I don't know if like maybe I just got lucky. I don't know if that's a common thing. But you get 2 of them, so you're not constantly changing the fucking wheel. Because when you're building stuff, you want to focus on the building of the thing and not like adjusting your tooling all the time. But yeah, mine just, they're plugged in all the time. On my welding table, I just have angle iron that I welded across, and they just hang there. So if I need to cut something, I cut it. If I need to sand something, I use a flap disc fucking on the daily for fucking everything. So get 2. And as far as the wheels go, the cutoff wheel, I cannot recommend this enough. Lennox metal diamond cutting wheel. They have it at like, forget where I got it at like Tractor Supply. But they have them. I think Diablo makes one. I actually looked at Harbor Freight. They do not have a metal cutoff wheel. They only have the fucking fibrous ones that scare the shit out of everybody. But they last forever, man. I actually just got a new one like maybe a week ago, and I had that wheel for years. I got a new one. I remember I got a new one because I was doing Loctite's shovel head hardtail. So I go, you know what? I've had this other one. I've had like 3 of them in my entire life. I had that other one. It was years old. It was like a year old more. And I was like, I better get a new one because I'm going to be doing a lot of cutting. So I know whenever that was, 2 years ago or whatever, and I just got a new one last week. I did notice that it was getting a little bit dull, but I use that fucking thing constantly. So I use Lennox, Lenox. It's like a white wheel, $15, dude, and it lasts a year. And it doesn't get smaller as you fucking use it. That's the other thing that sucks about cutoff wheels. Yeah, they're cheap. You get a 10-pack for what? $10, $15, dude. I'll blow through a fucking 10-pack in a day. And the whole time your cutoff wheel's just going, just getting smaller. So it's getting harder. And the whole time you're like, I wonder when this thing's going to fucking explode and take my eye out. So I can't recommend these things enough. Lennox is the type I use just because there's a Tractor Supply down here. And that one's worked like fucking awesome for me. Never gets, years, dude. I cut a lot of fucking metal. And I just don't like I hate those cutoff wheels. The fucking, I've seen so many fucking videos of those things just like lodged in a dude's safety glasses. I don't need that shit in my life. As far as flap discs go, like the sanding ones, like don't go cheap on those either. Like the Harbor Freight ones burn out immediately. So like that's a waste of money. Even like I was there, I just happened to be there and I needed one. And I was like that day. So I got like their top of the line one, like Warrior or Bear. I forget what their top of the line like flap disc was. Burnt right the fuck out. Dude, like in seconds. So the ones that I've had good luck with were, just any kind of name brand ones like DeWalt. There's Benchmark abrasives I heard are the shit. Never personally used them. But, or maybe, no, I haven't. I think I like filled a cart full of them and I was like, I got cold feet and I didn't get them. But yeah, get some good, decent angle grinder. Doesn't have to be fucking awesome, but invest in the cutoff wheel. I don't even think it's investing because that thing is going to last you a year and it's $15. So go get it, Lennox. All right, we got to move on. All right. This one. Man, this one I found the hard way. Tap and die set. So I broke many a tap in my day. Many a tap. The Harbor Freight kit is okay for mild steel. And it's cheap, right? So don't get one with metric and standard, right? You're only working in standard now, unless you have a metric bike, right? And then get the metric one, obviously. But if you're working on Harleys and shit, get the standard. And if you're working on metric shit, get the metric one. You don't need them both. You know what you're going to be working on. Or just buy one, and then when you get a bike that's metric, you buy the other one. But anyways, Harbor Freight one's great because it comes with every size you're going to need. And it does okay. Kills aluminum. Aluminum tapping, aluminum is no problem. Mild steel. Starting to get a little dicey. Once you start tapping stainless, you're going to hate your fucking life, dude. Working with stainless fucking sucks if you don't have the right equipment. Get a really high quality tap set. I barely ever use the dies. So if you don't know, the tap is like the mail, right? So like you drill a hole and then you tap it and it puts threads in, right? The die is the little circle and it does like the outside. It's like the female. So like if you're, maybe you stripped a bolt, you need to re-thread it or something. You fucked it up, marred it a little bit. Put a die on that bitch and it'll cut the threads. I rarely use it. So like the Harbor Freight one, I don't have high quality dies. I don't think you need high quality dies. Get the Harbor Freight set and you get every size you need for most jobs. And it cuts once really well into stainless. But then what you're going to want to do is buy a tap set. And I'll put the link maybe because I just got one that pretty much blew me away. I hate going to the hardware store and they don't have a set, right? And I need at least 3 or 4 different taps. And I don't want to, I've done this. I bought like a bunch of loose taps. And actually Irwin, at the hardware store, that's where you're going to get like an Irwin or something. They have the tap with the drill bit. Now, this is so important because, when you drill a 3/8 hole, when you tap a 3/8 hole, right, you're going to be drilling with 5/16. That's the size that matches up. But not always. Sometimes you need some weird sizes of bits. And if you don't have like a huge variety of bits, it's going to be a pain in the ass. So what I got is a tap and drill set. And what it is a little metal box, and it goes from fucking like huge. I think it goes like fucking 5/8 or 7/16 or I don't know, like big. And it goes all the way down to like 10 or like one of those weird sizes I don't even understand. 10/28. And everything in the middle. But pretty much my core is if I'm tapping, I'm going to be using 1/4 inch, 5/16, 3/8 for the most part. But I have the other ones on either side if I have to do a tap. I tap all the time. I love tapping things. But this tap and drill set, it's just a little metal box and it has your, it's stacked on top of itself. So you open it up and then the first one comes up and you have some more size behind here. But you have your tap and right next to it is the drill bit. And they're all made out of cobalt. Okay. So the one that you get at fucking Harbor Freight, mad cheap, it's made out of, I don't know, whatever they make tortellini out of. It's fucking doughy. It's not like hardened, These are made out of cobalt, which is what you want to use if you're tapping stainless steel, which I like to do. I like to work with stainless whenever I can. So if I have stainless, it welds way better. But the only thing that sucks is it sucks to cut. It's hardened. It's hard steel. So it sucks to cut, but it fucking sucks to drill. And it fucking sucks to tap. I've broken so many fucking taps because, once you got that bitch started, here's the thing with tapping too. You got to be pretty patient with it. If you try to force it, you're going to fuck up your tap. You are going to break the tap, because there's all these little bits of metal in there. So you got to start, go in, and once it starts getting fucking tough, back it out, clean it out. Clean off your tap, clean out the hole, and then reinsert it. The other thing that I want to say about the taps is, I think I was talking about this. Someone made the recommendation, Tap Magic. It's like tapping fluid. Just comes in. I got the fucking biggest ball I have. I've been using it for everything, dude. It keeps your drill bits nice and sharp, and makes tapping a dream. Just lubricate the fuck out of it. Just put a little dab on your fucking tap, put a little dab in your hole, and just keep it nice and wet. But that tap magic, dude, tap magic fucking works really well. But the tap and drill set, man, you don't even have to think. You're just like, I want a 3/8 there. You have your, I guess, well, 3/8 is going to be a 5/16 drill bit. I actually have a chart. You can look it up online really easy, like tap sizes. Just say tap sizes, and they'll give you a huge chart, and you can just see exactly which drill bit. This just takes the guesswork out of it. And you're not losing it like when you're working on another job, right? It's all in the same kit. So you got Cobalt, it's all in this kit. It's all stacked nicely. And you take your drill bit, you drill it, you know that tap's going to fit. The other thing is like I have all these drill bits, and after you use them, you can't fucking see what the little numbers are on it, right? Because they're, the black stuff came off, or like they're marred, or like, maybe they're worn off completely. So this one, it comes in a little case that says not on the bit, but like where it goes in, exactly what size it is. So you pop that in your shit, bang. Drills through fucking so nice, this Cobalt. Like I got it wasn't even that expensive. It was an Amazon set. No name brand I can remember, but it was like highly recommended. Just cuts through stainless like butter, baby. And then tapping it, I haven't broke one yet. I've been tapping everything. I like to tap shit. Like sissy bar mount, the tabs. I tap them shits because I don't want to put a bolt through and then have to thread it from the other side. So actually, I ended up putting the nuts inside. I have 2 nuts stacked inside the actual tab, and I welded them in. So pretty fucking slick. But yeah, tap set. The other thing that you do with a tap, like especially if I'm welding in bungs and welding in, like things get fucked up. They get warped when you put that much heat into them, right? Run a tap through there. Run a tap through. Or if it's rusty, run a tap through. Or if it's fucking all fucked up and stripped a little bit, run a tap through. I use them all the time. Just chase those threads, especially whenever I weld anything, after it cools down and shit, I just tap it real quick. Just fucking makes it so much easier to put the bolt in. You're not forcing it. You're not going to fucking cross thread it. All right. Last. I didn't even save the best for last. This one's kind of stupid, but I wanted to mention it because these are the things that I've been using constantly. I've been welding nonstop every single day since I started this build. I've been using my compressor nonstop for everything. Dude, putting those tires on, needed the compressor. It helps to seat that bead. You need a lot of PSI. All the tools that I'm using, all air tools, all the sanding, the Dynaphile. This stupid name. It's not even what it's called. It's like an air pneumatic sander or something like that. The welds, any shitty welds that I fuck up because I suck, using the compressor. Angle grinder. I think I've used this almost as much as the TIG welder, right? So everything I'm doing is cutting, grinding, and TIGging. But the angle grinders, having 2 of them is awesome. Actually, I think I might even need 3 because I just got an angle grinder attachment that's a pipe and tube polisher or sander. So it was $30 on Amazon. It attaches to your angle grinder, and it has three pulleys on it, and you have a belt sander on it. And for exhaust or stainless steel rod, it just wraps right around. So any curved surface, you can just be like, $30, dude. And then I got a bunch of fucking, and Amazon, dog, fucking sandpaper to go along with it. From fucking, I think I have down to like 80 grit all the way up to like 3,000. So I'm going to be able to polish up my like sissy bar like mad easy. So I think I might even get just a 3rd angle grinder just for that. Because I had to take that off to like, if I used it, I'd have to take it off and put it back on. That one's a pain in the ass. That does not come on and off easy. All right, number 5, Cobalt drill and stop bits. So again, mild steel. This shit eats mild steel for breakfast. No problem at all. Cobalt. You're going to spend a little bit of extra money on these bits, so go easy on them. And here's what I found with like stainless steel. Once it starts smoking, let up. Okay? So once you're bit, you see a little poof of smoke coming out, it's time to cool it off and re-lubricate. Now, I've been using that Tap Magic for all my drilling too, and it's been a dream. But I spent a little extra money and I got a set of Cobalt drill bits, right? Just a standard little box set. But here's what I really wanted to bring up. Harbor Freight. The Hercules step bits. Fucking cook, dude. Now, I posted something about them online and people are like, yeah, they're good ones, you know? Bro, I've been using them for weeks now. And I've been putting them through stainless, dude. I've been putting them through stainless. It's doing a good job. You get the cheap little yellow ones that they have at Harbor Freight. Good fucking luck, bro. Good fucking luck. You're going to be there all goddamn night trying to get that thing to 3/4 inch wide. You know what I mean? These fucking Hercules, dude, they're holding up. I'm keeping them lubricated. I'm not like smoking them out. Not doing like stupid shit with them. But, dude, I think I got 3 for like under $30. It's like $10 a bit. And they already paid for themselves. If you've ever used like a step bit to try to hog out a huge hole in stainless, you know what I'm talking about, dude. Like maybe you get up to 5/16 and then things start getting a little bit heady. You know what I mean? And then that one step on that bit, if that gets smoked, the rest of them up the step bit are fucked. The other thing, as far as bits go, I got, and I didn't even know this was a thing, a pilot bit set. So it has a bunch of small sizes. I think it goes up to like 1/4 inch. Like it's a bunch of pilot hole drills, but they're super sharp. I got this at Tractor Supply too, and they're Cobalt. And what I do is you drill your little pilot hole. So first of all, you're going to take your little punch, make sure your shit doesn't wander. Then take one of the smaller bits for the pilot hole, just get through. Once you're through, you can throw on one of these step bits, and it's just like, dude, you can get up to like 5/16 in 3 steps. And, dude, like I said, stainless steel is up in the middle of the night with the coveys pulled over its fucking face, afraid for its life for these Hercules bits. Like, these fucking things are nightmare fuel for stainless steel. They fucking kick ass. I'm going to tag you in this Harbor Freight, and I want a sponsorship. Maybe I'll reach out. Give me some more shit to fuck up stainless steel with. Let's see what you got. All right. I think that's it, dudes. So we got TIG welder, compressor, 2 angle grinders, a tap and die set. Tap and drill set is more important. I'd say fuck the die. I'd say go with the tap and drill set. And then a good set of Cobalt drill bits, step bits, and pilot bits. I'm assuming you already have like an electric, like like an electric drill, because you're gonna need that for some of this stuff. Yeah, man. That's it for this week. I appreciate you guys. Again, I'm super stoked that it's fucking riding season is here. I gotta get this goddamn bike done so I can get out on the road with y'all. Until next week, Lowlives. Get in the garage. Get in trouble. Have fun. Never stop chopping.
Deadbeat Customs. Steve over at Deadbeat Customs is about grassroots motorcycle riders who take it upon themselves to build and customize their bike. They offer parts for all Harley-Davidson models and also custom parts for choppers, bobbers, trackers, and cafe racers. When it comes to building a custom motorcycle, they carry the best brands available. Go visit their brick and mortar store in Tewksbury, Mass, or at deadbeatcustoms.com. Remember, enter Lowlife at checkout and save some loot. Stay Strong Co. Jean-Luc has been sent down from the heavens to bless us lowlifes with the greatest motherfucking hot sauce in the world. Sweet heat baby Jesus in the white pants heralds a message from God himself. This hot sauce is for your food. Keep it off your butthole. The shits, and the hotter than hellfire Lowlife chopper sauce. Go to staystrongco.org today and grab yourself the holy trinity of hot sauces. Oxford Co. Choppers. Chris is the original bad boy from Oxford, Connecticut. From frame restoration and repair to handlebars and hardtails. Hard parts for hard men. His hardtails are expertly TIG welded and installed in-house. Made of USA-made steel, cast axle plates, he is your man for the hardest shit to hit the East Coast since Hurricane Bob. Find him on Instagram at oxfordco.choppers. Steel City Blacksmithing. Josh specializes in handcrafted steel work right outside of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Anything from custom motorcycle parts to hammers and tomahawks. Don't get it twisted. If it can be twisted, he's twisting it. Check him out at steelcityblacksmithing.com today.